beginning of the story, we see Michael Jackson heading for his show. You'll soon learn more about what that show was. Michael's story begins in Gary, Indiana, in 1966. Children were playing outside a small house. Michael was delighted to see them. At that time, Michael was a small child. His father, Joseph, forced him to join his brothers, who were practicing singing together as a band. Michael was already an expert at singing. Joseph, therefore, was thoroughly training Michael to become a good singer, a move his mother initially disliked. However, due to Joseph's strictness, Diana, she was unable to do anything. Joseph then saw that his children had learned to sing well as the night approached. How led, the entire family was everyone was overjoyed, and Joseph told everyone they had to support each other as they had their first chance to perform. Kate then explained that Michael's education is still pending. Joseph explained that they can go much further than their studies, and that they will have to sacrifice something to make their son a famous singer. The children were ready for this. Joseph then explained to Michael that he could also sing and dance too. This would impress people, and he named their group the Jackson 5. They would then go to small clubs and perform as the Jackson 5. Everyone loved Michael, who had always been fond of dancing with his feet, and for this reason, he would move his feet in a special way. Everyone would throw coins at his feet. Then they returned home. Everyone was supposed to go to bed, but Joseph told everyone to get ready for practice. He was also angry because he had forbidden Michael from dancing too much, but he still performed with his feet. This drew everyone's attention more to his feet than his singing. Joseph grabbed Michael, beat him severely with a belt, and told everyone to get ready for training. Michael then left crying. Kate was unable to do anything for her son. Michael was still keeping his inner child alive by reading Peter Pan stories on weekends. After a few days, all the Jackson 5 were gradually practicing and were getting opportunities to perform in major shows. As a result, all the children were becoming famous. Michael, along with his brothers, was fond of learning new dance steps on TV and showcasing them in their performances. This often led to criticism by his father. Yet Michael never let anything sway his performance, and with the band's fame, they began to grow wealthy. Michael also learned to sing dancing. Then, in 1970, the Jackson 5 were scheduled to perform at the Regal Theater. Michael and his brothers were treated to a spectacular performance, as the lead singer invited the Jackson 5 to the stage. The boys took the stage to perform their song, and everyone there was delighted. Among them was a girl named Suzanne, deeply impressed by their performance. Suzanne then gave Joseph a card and invited them to the studio. A few days later, Joseph met Barry Gowdy, a prominent music producer, and Suzanne was actually his assistant. Barry then asked Michael to sing solo for a song to be recorded, which Michael was a little nervous about. He then told Michael to sing with complete ease, dancing as he pleased. Michael was dancing and singing, and Barry was impressed, and he saw a great star within him. Barry then spoke to Michael and told him, "You're going to be a big star in the world in the future." Michael was delighted, and there Barry taught him how to create music in the studio, giving him a deeper understanding. Joseph then came to take him home. Michael turned left and hugged Barry, which Joseph disliked at all. A year later, Michael's first song was being shot, and then the song was launched. Michael, along with his brothers, answered media questions prominent music producer, and they discussed creating a new album together. Quincy's people came and told Joseph about the album, as Michael was afraid to speak directly to them. They also hoped to make a significant amount of money by selling his merchandise. Joseph was now Michael's manager. Joseph then suggested that Michael's brothers should also be included on the album, as they were part of the Jackson line and would always support his family. They then asked for time to think about it further. Meanwhile, Michael had started raising a horse at home and would spend nights talking to it. Michael then began recording new songs, including his new song, Off the Wall, which was to be included on the album. Michael had become quite adept at singing. He also improved his dancing skills and performed on music albums. With Quincy, Michael continued to record new songs, gradually gaining more and more fame worldwide. Michael loved visiting sick children and spent a lot of time with them. After a few years, Michael bought a chimpanzee to keep him company, whom he named Bubbles. His father and many other family members disliked the idea. However, Michael persisted, and eventually everyone did. Michael then began teaching Bubbles household chores and telling him stories about Peter Pan. One night, Michael saw Peter Pan's nose, which he found very beautiful, and thought his own was too big. That's when Michael went to the doctor for plastic surgery. When the doctor asked why, Michael said, "I'm a star now, and photographers take my pictures, so my face needs to look perfect, and that's why I want my nose to be perfect." The doctor agreed, and Michael underwent the surgery and returned home. Joseph then saw him, and Michael said he wanted his face to be perfect. Joseph just laughed and said nothing, and Michael went to his room. Michael was becoming increasingly self-conscious about his look, and had started keeping several pets at home. Then he went to visit Joseph, where Joseph had gathered all his brothers. Joseph told him that one of his brothers had left the band, but the Jackson family wouldn't be broken by this, and they could still take over the world together. He was preparing a new tour with all the brothers. This didn't sit well with everyone. Joseph threatened everyone, saying they would have to capitalize on Michael's fame. Michael refused, and Kate supported her son. Joseph then declared, "I make all the decisions in the house," and angrily approached Michael. Michael then left the scene, angrily. As he walked through a crowd of fans, he was completely broken inside. Michael then told Bill how he had been troubled by his father's pressure since childhood, and now he wanted to pursue everything solo. Bill then advised Michael, "Now you're a grown man, and if you want, you can leave your father." Michael began to think about this, and meanwhile, he began a few new tours with his family, the Jackson 5, and all their shows were becoming household due to Michael's fame. After the show ended, Michael went to meet his music director. A prominent lawyer named John Branco was also present, and everyone knew that Michael was now very interested in solo work. Michael began talking to John and learned that he handled cases for prominent singers and managed their professional lives. Michael then asked John to work for him, saying he needed a new manager first, and that his father should be removed from the manager position. John agreed, knowing that Michael was destined to become one of the biggest stars in the world. In the evening, kicked Michael, calling him a money-making machine. Hearing this, everyone became angry, and Joseph left to get a drink. A few days later, a boxing promoter named Don King met Joseph. He wanted the Jackson 5 to tour